Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Abrams, and this is Court Cam.
All the bars were closed.
Take him back! Take him out!
You die in prison as well.
First up, we're in Sandpoint, Idaho, for the sentencing of Jacob Coleman. The 21-year-old was charged with the murder of a taxi driver 2 years earlier. According to investigators, after being picked up at the Spokane, Washington airport, Coleman instructed the cab driver, 22-year-old Gagandeep Singh, to drive him to a made-up location more than 80 miles away in Bonner County, Idaho. Coleman later confessed to police that he was having homicidal thoughts during the ride. Asked the driver to stop at a gas station. There he purchased a knife that he later used to stab the driver to death inside the car. Coleman later pleaded guilty to first-degree murder, and in exchange, the state agreed not to pursue the death penalty. Instead, he'd be facing 40 years in prison. Now at sentencing, two fellow cab drivers who knew the victim expressed their outrage over the senseless murder.
I think a monster is an understatement. There's got to be something worse.
You go to the big house. They're gonna have fun with you. You're gonna get raped.
Two of the victim's family members then addressed Coleman.
He can't be trusted. He can't be good. He's just worth nothing. Piece of he is.
He had a great, bright life ahead of him. But this sinner took all that away from us. This sinner ended his life.
Coleman's attorney argues, however, that his client was in a compromised mental state when he carried out the murder.
He was not making a sound judgment. This is a man who was at the very end of his rope.
When given a chance to speak, Coleman also acknowledges his mental instability,
I'm up mentally.
but claims he's not beyond repair.
I have a house with termites at its foundation, but the termite can be extinguished, the foundation can be relaid. I will never be able to make up for what I did. But does that mean that I have to give up on everything?
Yes.
Okay. Then 40 years, let's do this. I will never be able to make up for what I did. But does that mean that I have to give up on everything?
Yes.
Okay.
The answers from the victim's family seem to push him over the edge.
Then 40 years, let's do this.
Jacob Coleman received 40 years to life in the Idaho Department of Corrections. Next, we head to Spartanburg, South Carolina, for a hearing in the wrongful death lawsuits against serial killer Todd Kohlhepp. Kohlhepp pled guilty to killing 7 people over 13 years, including motorcycle shop owner Scott Ponder, who was murdered along with 3 other shop employees, including Ponder's own mother. Kohlhepp was a customer at the shop and reportedly carried out the attacks because he felt the group had made fun of him. The case went unsolved for over a decade. A woman, Kayla Brown, was found chained but alive inside a storage container on Kohlhepp's property.
We're gonna get you out of there, okay? Just hang loose for me.
3 months earlier, Brown's boyfriend was murdered after the couple were hired to clean Kohlhepp's home. Investigators were led to the container by the couple's last known cell phone activity. Investigators also discovered Brown's boyfriend and 2 others buried on the property. Kohlhepp confessed and pleaded guilty to all 7 murder charges, sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. In court today is Melissa Brackman, widow of motorbike shop owner Scott Ponder. Brackman is one of 8 plaintiffs in multiple wrongful death lawsuits against Kohlhepp. As part of the hearing, Brackman, who was pregnant when her husband was killed, addresses the court and the man who took her husband's life.
I miss Scott Ponder every day of my life. I'm always going to wonder what my life would have been like had the opportunity to raise our son.
With Kohlhepp sitting just a few feet away, Brackman does the unthinkable and offers the convicted killer her own heartfelt apology.
I want to formally apologize to you, Mr. Kohlhepp, for whatever Scott said to you, or did to you while you were doing business with them. I know my late husband, and I know he would want me to apologize to you for this. I'm sorry that the events that led to such a gruesome day had to happen at all, because there was always a better way to deal with things than taking the lives of individuals who make us mad.
Brackman ended her statement with a few simple yet... As she returned to her seat, Brackman claims to have seen Kohlhepp mouth the words, "I'm sorry," as she passed him. The lawsuits were settled when the attorney for Kayla Brown, who was found chained in that storage container, got the plaintiffs to agree on how to distribute Kohlhepp's total assets, which were worth over $353,000. Half went to Kayla Brown, the only surviving victim, and the remaining half was divided equally among the other plaintiffs. Most of the action we feature here on Court Cam takes place during the day, when the judges, attorneys, defendants, juries are all in the courthouse. And then there are other stories, like this one. We head to Universal City, Texas, where police are trying to figure out how did someone cause all this damage to a courthouse in the middle of the night? And more importantly, who caused it?
That's really weird. And I can't imagine just that seeing somebody come in and just waltzing over here and well, these were locked, so they couldn't get in here.
Police investigating the break-in found damaged walls and ceiling debris scattered throughout the courtroom. They also found a strange note near the court computer that read, "I will never give up till justice." Through surveillance footage, police identified this man. 29-year-old Andres Madrigal is a suspect. About a week earlier, Madrigal was arrested on a warrant for a traffic violation and released from the Universal City Jail. As he left, he allegedly told officers, "This isn't over." Madrigal allegedly went to City Hall, where the courthouse is located, and hid in the men's bathroom, waiting for employees to leave for the night. He then allegedly broke through the ceiling and crawled to the empty courthouse area, leaving a trail of damage behind. There, according to police, Madrigal accessed the city's computer system using a password he found under the keyboard. Police identified Madrigal as a suspect when they found Madrigal's red sneakers, which he was wearing the day of his arrest, as well as a pair of courthouse scissors outside a nearby fire department. A few days later, police arrive at his father's house with a warrant for Madrigal's arrest. Inside, police search every crawl space and closet in hopes of finding the suspect.
Hey, somebody on the first floor? Are you dad? What would you gone to?
When they come across the suspect's father, he offers his own tip.
She probably jumped out from my window, from the bathroom window.
The dad said, he's not here, he jumped out the freaking window.
Officers then head outside to continue their search. They poke through fences and scour the neighbors' backyards, but still can't find him. After his father receives a call from the suspect's mother, he suggests his son is probably still in the house.
Yeah, that's right. Hello.
Did you find him?
No, not yet. They're looking for him.
He just texted me right now, like, Mom, help me, Mom, help me.
Finally, after 20 minutes, police zero in on an upstairs walk-in closet.
Andreas, come out. Come out with your hands up. Right now. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. On the ground.
You're in a cop, bro.
Stop.
You're not in a real cop.
I'm the police.
At first, Madrigal says he doesn't believe the officers are who they claim to be.
You're not a real police.
I'm here to help you.
No, you're not.
I am. Relax.
But when he's cuffed, the reality of the situation sets in.
You anything on you?
On his way to the patrol car, his father has a few words for his son.
I didn't do what are you talking about?
Madrigal's taken to the police station. He's charged with burglary with intent to commit theft and computer break of a security system. He was released on bond, but the charges were dismissed for insufficient evidence. Next, we're in Chattanooga, Tennessee, the Hamilton County Courthouse for an arraignment hearing. Standing in front of the bench is Mark Anthony LeBron Caslin. The 26-year-old is being arraigned on misdemeanor charges of theft of property and aggravated assault, or so he thinks. But then the judge informs him for the very first time that he's also being charged with murder in connection with a recent double homicide. And the news does not sit well. After the judge hits him with the new charges, Caslin makes a break for it. Perhaps seeing the numerous officers between him and the exit, he takes the long way through the gallery. As people clear a path, this bailiff appears to be reading the offensive play like a linebacker. He tracks the defendant to the rear of the courtroom, squares up the shoulders, keeps the head up, and then hits him with what appears to be a proper form football tackle just before the exit. With the help of other bailiffs, Caslin's handcuffed and brought back in front of the judge, who sets his bond at $150,000 charges for his attempted courtroom escape. Next, we head to Ingham County, Michigan for the arraignment of Marlena Pavlos Hackney. The restaurant owner's in court for continuously violating state food laws and public health orders during the COVID pandemic. Over several months, Pavlos Hackney defied emergency orders, including mask wearing and social distancing guidelines. The restaurant also remained open for dine-in service during a state-mandated shutdown. At first, Pavlos Hackney's food license was suspended. Then the restaurant was ordered closed until a hearing. When Pavlos Hackney kept it open, a bench warrant was issued, and she was arrested on her way to work. Today she's in circuit court, although she's not alone. Joining her is Richard Martin, founder of an organization designed to help individuals defend their rights against the court system, which they claim is corrupt. Martin is appearing as a legal aid for Pavlos Hackney, but he does not have a law license. And it's clear Judge Rosemary Aquilina has little patience for the wannabe attorney.
For myself.
What is your statement? I'll give you 1 minute.
Okay. I was not aware that I would be here other than acting as assistants, not as her lawyer, but as assistants of counsel in this matter to help her because she does have understanding problems of the English language.
Sir, apparently you have problems with the English language. This says appearance. It is for lawyers.
Martin is filed to appear before the court as a licensed attorney, which he is not. This gets him a scolding from the judge and a lot more.
Do not argue with me because what will happen is you'll get another 93 days and then we'll start over. Your rights remain intact, but for today's purposes, you are under arrest for contempt of court, this court. You may be escorted out. Thank you.
Martin is taken to jail to begin his sentence of 93 days. Failing to take a cue from Martin, Pavlos Hackney gets off on the wrong foot by interrupting an already irritated judge.
Request. Ma'am, I will address you. If you would like to go out of order, we'll start this 93 days from now. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? Ma'am, stop. I know you want to control this room, but this isn't Burger King. When the sign changes to Burger King, you can have it your way. Right now, this is my court.
Judge Aquilina tries a second time to swear in the defendant.
Ma'am, stop. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? Yes or no? Are you going to tell the truth? All right, I'll take that as silence. I understand her attorney is on here. you understand, ma'am? You certainly may remain silent. Where is your attorney?
Finally, Pavlos Hackney's actual attorney, Robert Baker, joins the session via Zoom.
So your client has elected to not be able to make a statement because she's not taking the oath. Do you wish to proceed, or would you like to speak with her before we proceed?
I would like to speak with her prior. I'm not sure she understands what exactly is going on.
How much time do you need with her?
Maybe 5 minutes.
All right, we're going to find a way to make that happen.
When they return, Pavlos Hackney's ordered to remain in jail. 4 days later, she's released after paying over $30,000 in fines, closing the restaurant for good. Though Pavlos Hackney continued working with a lawyer, hoping to get her license back to reopen. Next, we go to Paterson, New Jersey for an arraignment hearing. Jerry Thomas and Clarence Williams are charged in the murder of 2 men. The victims, Aaron Anderson and Antonio Vega Jr., were shot execution-style in their car before their vehicle was set ablaze. The car, it turns out, actually belonged to Real Housewives of New Jersey cast member Kim DePaola. Her son was a good friend of one of the victims, Anderson, and allowed him to use the car while he was away traveling. According to authorities, the incident occurred during a drug deal gone wrong, but the defendants had no connection to DePaola. That's Thomas at his arraignment, who was just denied bail by the judge. Notice as he leaves the courtroom, Thomas looking in the direction of the victim's family. After a few obscenities from both sides of the courtroom, things become heated. That's Michelle Ryerson, mother of victim Aaron Anderson. She's yelling at a Thomas family member. Ryerson throws something as the Thomas family members escorted out. Meanwhile, this woman seems to take aim with her own potential projectile, a shoe. Only the quick hands of the bailiff prevent it from being launched across the room. Finally, court officers regain control.
Judge, I want officials to get the names of the individuals that threatened my mother's client and that have acted up in this manner, Judge.
That's Thomas's attorney, who, in the heat of the moment, apparently gets his words and defendants mixed up.
To get the names of the individuals that threatened my mother's client and that have acted up in this manner, Judge. I need to know that, Your Honor.
No one threatened his mother's client. After a few minutes, everyone calms down, including Ryerson, who's still emotional over the loss of her son. The defendants pleaded not guilty, but at trial, both are convicted. Williams of aggravated manslaughter and assault. He receives a sentence of 23 years. Thomas, meanwhile, is convicted on 2 counts of murder and aggravated arson. He receives a sentence of 85 years, and is currently in a New Jersey state prison. That's it for this edition of Court Cam. I'm Dan Abrams. Thanks for watching.